given up childhood, so worth it. I want kids tomorrow. I want kids immediately. Dream guest on my podcast? One heaven phone call. This is a random heaven phone call.
I wasn't ready to say I was a bad girl.
I actually want to take 3 eggs, fertilize 3 eggs, and have 3 surrogates.
In November 2024, users across the TikTok platform band together to boycott JoJo Siwa. All of her newest TikToks are currently still getting ratioed, with the comments having 3 times the likes of the actual videos. A lot of the information you know about JoJo Siwa was probably learned against your own will. For the past 6 years, JoJo Siwa's name has been popping up everywhere you turn. You probably know that in 2024, JoJo Siwa went completely off the deep end. But now, we're at the end of the year, and somehow it's gotten 10 times worse. From creepily looking at interviewers, to getting blindly drunk on stage while 6-year-olds are in the front row of your concert, JoJo Siwa is no stranger to controversy. These next videos of JoJo explaining her drunk alter ego Radical Rick, and her explaining how she is going to have triplets, pretty much explain why people want to boycott her off the TikTok platform.
People come up to me and are you JoJo Siwa? I'll be like, who the f is JoJo Siwa? It's me, Radical Rick. This is a fun story. You know, no one's ever heard this one before. Because I'm gay as shit and I have to plan a pregnancy much different than a straight person, I actually want to take 3 eggs, fertilize 3 eggs, and have 3 surrogates. So technically they'll all be the same batch, but they would all be born separately. I'm gonna have my surrogates, my babies, then maybe little birthdays will land on different days and they can be like triplets, but like not.
Okay, that's enough of that. If you have absolutely no idea who I'm talking about, congratulations. But let's start all the way back at the very beginning. Joelle Joni Siwa, aka JoJo Siwa, is a singer, dancer, actress, and social media personality. JoJo was born in Omaha, Nebraska in 2003 and is now 21 years old. Jessalyn Siwa, JoJo's mom, started putting her in beauty pageants at the age of 2 years old. JoJo also performed her first dance solo at 2 years old. JoJo became famous, or honestly, infamous, in 2013, when she got her start in the world of Dance Moms. JoJo appeared as the youngest contestant on the 2nd season of Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, produced by the infamous Abby Lee Miller of Dance Moms. JoJo was a top 5 finalist on this season of the show. Soon after, JoJo auditioned for the Abby Lee Dance Company and appeared on the main Dance Moms TV show in 2014. She was selected for the team in early 2015. Since JoJo isn't an OG Dance Moms cast member and replaced Chloe, a huge fan favorite, she has received online hate for years. Today, people hate JoJo for a lot of different reasons besides those, but we'll get into that later on in the video. In May 2016, JoJo released her songs Boomerang and I Can Make You Dance. Boomerang addressed online bullying and amassed over 1 billion views and over 5 million likes. According to JoJo herself, Boomerang still receives over 200,000 views a day.
So Boomerang 7 years ago and it still gets about 200,000 views a day. Yeah.
She's so rich.
It's all I can take from it. Get out of here.
It's a day.
In the same year, 2016, JoJo released a line of hair bows called JoJo Bows in collaboration with the accessory company Claire's. JoJo was already famous for wearing these bows on Dance Moms before the line was ever released. These bows became so popular among young kids, causing JoJo's success to skyrocket exponentially in a very, very short amount of time. These bows became so popular around the world that they were banned in some primary schools in the UK due to being deemed as distractions. School boards in the UK accused the bows of causing more peer pressure, impairing concentration, and violating dress codes. Because of the success of the bows, JoJo also released a lot of other merchandise like dresses, makeup, and more. Strangely though, JoJo's makeup kit at Claire's was recalled back in 2019 after the FDA issued a warning about it containing dangerous levels of asbestos. My guess is that the demand for JoJo's products was so insane that people behind the scenes cut corners to make the products as quick as possible and get them on the shelves as soon as possible. Of course, JoJo, who was 16 at the time, wasn't the one who put asbestos in the makeup, but she received a lot of the blame since her face was tied to all of the products and plastered all over them. From the age of 2 years old, JoJo has been exploited by the adults around her, so they can achieve their own wealth and fame. Based on what JoJo says in interviews about the adults in her life, she would probably highly disagree with the statement that she was exploited. When talking about JoJo, her mom Jessalyn always acts like she never exploited JoJo because JoJo was the one who forced her to do pageants and dance competitions. This clearly makes no sense though, because if a 2-year-old tells you that they want to be an astronaut, you don't strap them onto a rocket ship and blast them off into outer space. But this is exactly what Jocelyn Siwa did. And from a young age, JoJo became the breadwinner of her family. This next clip uncovers a dark truth about JoJo's time on Dance Moms, and it's pretty unsettling. Because of JoJo's crazy personality, exploitative adults saw dollar signs whenever she was around. And it's pretty creepy that they would just watch her and sit back and count their millions.
Turns out, I find this out 10 years later, whenever the producers of the show were bored on set, they would all go to Crafty, get a snack, go to what's called Video Village, which is where they have all of the monitors, right? And that's like where they like normally watch the show and stuff. And they would turn all the audio off except for the monitor in my interview, and they would pull me to do an interview. And they would make one producer go interview me and one cameraman go sit there. Everybody else on set would go in Video Village, turn on the monitor, and just watch. They called it the JoJo show. And they would just watch me talk for hours.
Today, JoJo appears to be going off the deep end, but she admitted that this is all an orchestrated PR stunt to become the next Miley Cyrus. This has created a huge mistrust around JoJo and has everyone questioning what is real and what is fake. For example, when JoJo had like 20 drinks at Disney parks on her 21st birthday, was she faking it for TikTok, or does she genuinely need to be checked into a rehab facility? But in my opinion, JoJo is probably going off the deep end for PR and in real life too. I say this because there is a ton of evidence that JoJo has a terrible mental health. In an interview with Meghan Trainor and her husband, JoJo is clearly not doing well mentally at all. She says she refuses to get therapy even though she needs it. Meghan Trainor seems very concerned for JoJo's mental health in this video.
You should come out to Studio Siwa one day. That's where we all have therapy, because none of us will go to therapy, meaning me. No,
You won't go.
I won't go.
I love it.
I won't go.
Why? Oh,
honestly,
you're 20. Okay.
I'm young, yeah. I feel like I'm really good at shoving it down and focusing on the positive.
That's gonna explode out
Yeah.
somewhere.
Before you become a parent, go to therapy.
This video of JoJo yelling at an audience member for booing her is also pretty concerning.
Who the living just booed me? Where the did that come from? Which one of you? Respectfully, you.
JoJo also uploaded this now deleted video of her crying in her car. It was thought to be another promotion for her song Karma, but the caption "rich and sad" instead of "poor and happy" might have some truth behind it. In this video from the Call Her Daddy podcast TikTok account, JoJo shows Alex Cooper the car she was crying in. A Lamborghini wrapped in JoJo's face with all different colored seats inside. Alex seems genuinely concerned for JoJo's mental health when she talks about how she was crying in her car on the way to Alex's house, thinking about her future children growing up and moving out of her house. And yes, you heard that correctly, JoJo's future children.
Oh,
Every.
no, you have different colored seats? I feel like I am at like Disneyland. No, you can't be depressed in this car. You walk in and you're like, I'm having a bad day. Like, stop. You're like, I cry in here all the
I
time.
literally was crying on the way here, if that makes you feel any better.
No, why? JoJo. This is amazing.
I'll tell you why, but you're gonna make fun of me. Why? Because I was like, I literally said goodbye to my parents.
Oh, right, the move out.
So stoked. I got in my car and was like, when Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy do this to me
Bye.
one day.
I'm done. No,
That
I'm
was
so
my
fucking
thought.
done with these non-existent children that she's like, you're literally being protective over your non-existent children right
Like,
now.
one day
Like,
when they leave me, I'm gonna be so sad.
you haven't even birthed them yet, and you're already like, when they go to college and move away.
Crying.
Therapy.
So if you're unfamiliar with this entire thing about JoJo's future kids, JoJo has a tattoo that says Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy. These are the names of JoJo's future kids that she wants to have in a few years, and she wants to have 3 surrogates to make them triplets. Now you probably see what I'm talking about. I doubt her PR team told her to get this tattoo. This is a genuine example of JoJo going off the rails mentally, and it has left everyone unsettled. This is most likely why on Meghan's podcast, they asked JoJo to please get therapy before she has kids. The next thing JoJo's PR team definitely did not tell her to do is be completely oblivious to how she was exploited as a kid and teenager by various adult authority figures in her life. I'm going to focus on Colleen Ballinger, JoJo's mom Jocelyn Siwa, the producers of Dance Moms, and Abby Lee Miller. Let's start off with Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings. JoJo has gotten a lot of hate for defending Colleen after all the PDF allegations that came out against her. The sad part is, JoJo was clearly one of these victims herself, but doesn't see it. In an old video from when JoJo was only 14 years old, Colleen says, "I'm here with a really annoying girl named JoJo Siwa. She then says JoJo isn't allowed to dress P_RN when she's dancing, which is extremely weird and creepy to say. Then she asks JoJo why she's wearing a milk shirt and asks, do you even know where milk comes from? Colleen was 30 years old in this video. Then she and JoJo do straddles and splits, and Colleen keeps making really weird, inappropriate jokes about these dance moves and things you can hurt while doing them.
It's me, Miranda, and today I'm with a really annoying girl named JoJo. I am not annoying! See how loud she talks? Annoying. Next thing is you are not supposed to dress porn when you are dancing, and I can see your entire legs. Stop it! You're like 5 years old!
The one you sell?
Yes.
Do you sell these?
This looks much better. Yes, I sell them. You don't even know what I sell. What kind of Miranda are you? Stop eating. Also, I'm just now realizing your shirt says milk all over it.
You do not like
You drink milk?
Yes.
You know that comes from a private part?
Yes.
You know that comes from a private part?
Do you know that you drank milk when you were a kid?
No, I did not.
When you never were a
If my
kid?
mom tried to make me drink that, I would be like, get away, pervert. I'm not drinking that out of your private.
Whoa!
The first position, second position, third position, split. Whoa! Did you hurt your dookie?
What's a tukey? What's...
Whoa!
You beat that.
We need to stop before she hurts her Tukey permanently. You need to protect the Tukey.
The tukey's getting unprotected by this leotard.
Alrighty, so there you go. That's how to dance, and I'm pretty positive that I won the dance off because now you have no more Tukey left.
But I did the Miranda.
You did do the Miranda. You got a few points for that, but you can't beat the actual Miranda. Alright, so go check out JoJo's channel. Subscribe to her because we did a video over there together. So go watch it and leave a comment about how I'm the best person in the world. So.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
What? Alright, here we go. What's first?
Never have I ever kissed anyone.
You have never kissed anybody?
Never.
JoJo.
Never in my whole life.
What?
I know, right?
Never have I ever not had a boyfriend. I have not had a boyfriend.
I have not had a boyfriend, yeah.
So you've never had a boyfriend?
I've never had a boyfriend.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Isn't that
for you.
shocking?
That's so embarrassing.
Weird.
Really embarrassing, JoJo. That
Okay,
no
can we
one
just-
has ever
let's
wanted
just-
to
let's
be
just
with
move on.
you.
Can we move on,
No one
please?
has ever wanted to date you.
Please.
That's so embarrassing.
No, I've actually had a few of them ask and I've still turned them down.
A lot of comments on a re-upload version of this video on TikTok are saying that they watched this video when they were like 9 years old and didn't realize how disturbing it was until now. JoJo was only 14 in this video, but sadly she doesn't see anything wrong with Colleen or her actions to her or her actions with other minors that led to her being canceled. This is what JoJo had to say about Colleen.
Are you friends with Colleen Ballinger still?
This is the first time that I've talked about this, so I just want to make sure I say my exact piece that I want to say. The internet can take a lie and run so far with it, so far that it's to the point where you just can't do anything about it. And I've had that happen to me. And I know Colleen very, very, very well. And I think the work that Colleen has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible. Miranda Sings is a character, is a comedian. And I think that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you as you're a real human behind that character. And I think being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. You know what I mean?
How is it for you now being her friend and reading some of what we read? Do you think it's all a lie? Do you think it's like, have you talked to her?
There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation, and a lot of them I know, some of them I don't know, and I look at it and I see that this is a sensitive subject. Somebody who is affected by any sort of anything having to do with adults, and I mean, for real grooming it's a very sensitive thing.
JoJo has clearly been conditioned to respect older adults in her life, never question them and side with them no matter what. Growing up, she was barely around other kids outside of a dance class. She was mainly around her mom, producers, managers, dance instructors, and Abby Lee Miller. JoJo is also friends with James Charles, which is another relationship people don't really like. You probably feel like I'm also calling JoJo's mom shady and exploitative, and that's because I am. The biggest telltale sign of this is the fact that Jesseline started dyeing JoJo's hair bright blonde from 2 years old, and the signature JoJo ponytails were so tight, combined with the heavy chemicals and bleach used to get the blonde color, that even to this day, 10 years later, JoJo has a huge permanent bald spot on the front side of her head.
You know, your hair is getting really dark. We're gonna need to lighten this up.
I have been dyeing my hair since I was like 2, maybe 1.5. I'm not a natural blonde. I'm actually a natural brown. I get brown roots, so I have to dye it so it looks like I'm a natural blonde.
Abby can't say we didn't go all out. We went all out.
Now, of course, JoJo Siwa wouldn't be rich and famous today without her mom, but there's still a lot of shady stuff here. Allegedly, Jesseline used JoJo for money her entire life and basically constantly guilt-tripped and manipulated JoJo into giving her money. These accusations stem from what JoJo herself has said about her mom. JoJo said her mom told her she didn't want her to run away with all the money when she turned 18, which is pretty telling.
Mom actually said something today to me that was really sweet. They've had this fear. They had this fear because, so when you are a kid, 15% of every penny you make goes into a Coogan account, right? And so my parents thought when I turned 18, I was going to get my Coogan account money, take all of my money and have it all be mine and be like, good luck, everybody, I'm an adult now. And I told them all the time, I was like, I can give you so much reassurance, but I will never do that. But it just is going to take you realizing over time that I'm never going to do that. I didn't really realize till I was maybe 17 or 18, like, oh, I pay for everything for everyone. Like, but then I was like, wait, I get to take care of my family. I get to take care of the people that I love.
After JoJo turned 18, her and her mom started to share a bank account.
All right, sounds good. All right,
I'll
anyway,
get my mom's card.
shopping trip. Your mom's card?
Yeah, but it's the same account. We just have 3 cards for it.
I thought you meant like you don't have money, but your mom has all your money. I was like, you're 18. We should talk.
No.
Have your own money.
No, my situation is phenomenal. Yeah, no, I just
okay, that's fine.
Anyway.
In September of 2023, on the Canceled podcast with Tana Mojo, JoJo praised her mom for how she handled the money she made as a kid and said her mom is so much better than exploitative child star moms. But that's simply not the case. JoJo also sees nothing wrong with her mom waiting over a year after she turned 18 to give her the money she was owed, which is also pretty concerning.
I had a Coogan account.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So
Coogan account takes 15% of every penny you make while you're a child, and it has to go in there, labor laws in California.
Yeah.
And so my biggest financial income was consistently my YouTube. So my merchandising. When those checks would come in, like whatever.
Like you knew the bows were bringing in the dough.
Yeah, and then once I got
I'm sorry to cut you off, but does the Coogan apply to like those situations or
everything?
Oh, okay.
So everything.
And then lots of like fucked up parents take their kids' Coogan accounts. Like I know
like Jeanette McCurdy. No, they can't. So that's why they invented Coogan accounts. Because it's the opposite. They would take their money and then they were left with nothing.
But wait, wasn't it Jeanette McCurdy said that her mom never like properly filled out the paperwork?
That
so
also happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why that's there to try to protect you. But some parents still are just shady. Yeah. So when I turned 18, I had to go and get the Coogan account, and transfer all the money. But we did it for a minute. We waited till I was probably 19 and a half. We just did all the paperwork because it's a process. Once I was able to process, this is 15%, add 85% of what this is, and that's that number from 9 to 18 blew my mind. That was damn hard work, but so worth it. Giving up childhood, so worth it. You know what I mean?
One commenter wrote this under the video. I don't think they caught the fact that JoJo's mom only put in the legally required minimum of 15% into JoJo's Coogan account. That means her mom pocketed nearly all of the money JoJo made from merch, YouTube, TV, and only left JoJo with 15% of it. While this is the legally required minimum, a parent can choose to put more in. I can understand a parent keeping 20%, maybe 30% if they have left their job to prioritize their child's dreams and they need to pay for things like a house and travel and raising the child. But genuinely, there is no reason a parent shouldn't be putting at least 75% minimum into their kid's account. The kid did all the work and made that money. It's interesting people praise JoJo's parents for giving her the minimum. Meanwhile, Mama June is being rightfully ripped to shreds for only putting 15% in Alana, aka Honey Boo Boo's account. JoJo also talked about this situation on the Call Her Daddy podcast in April of 2024. Jesseline Siwa has also been caught saying a lot of strange things that just rub people the wrong way.
You're in the middle of Nebraska. What are you gonna do?
That's it. People really did like her. She was a fun kid. She was funny, you know her personality, and she didn't like it when people touched her though. She'd be like, "Mom," and I'm like, "They're just hugging you. You're like a little kid. They all want to pick you up." And so I taught her to say, "Back off, Jack," and that's what she would tell everyone.
They teach kids that now.
Yeah.
Nowadays they say, your kid doesn't need to hug the aunt that they've never seen until Christmas morning. Yeah, like forget it.
She's
right.
like, don't touch. And I was like, all right. I mean, it was literally like 10-year-olds hugging a 4-year-old. It wasn't a big deal, but that was the only thing, you know?
Well,
yeah.
She stood around.
Yeah. Back off, Jack.
Back off.
In January 2021, JoJo got into controversy surrounding her board game. The board game JoJo's Juice, made by Nickelodeon and Spin Master, was labeled ages 6 and up. But some of the cards in the game ask questions like, have you ever walked in on someone naked? Have you ever been arrested? And more. Once again, JoJo took the heat for the mistakes made by adults who are truly controlling her brand.
Yeah, there's definitely not so good cards in here. Have you ever walked in on someone while naked? And this is for 6 and up. Have you ever not paid your bill at a restaurant? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever taken money from someone's purse or wallet without asking? Stolen from a store? Learned the art of twerking? And it's not... Have you ever gone outside without underwear? A bathing suit doesn't count. So what is that, naked or just like free balling it? This is definitely not appropriate for kids, for sure.
JoJo responded by saying she didn't know about the game's questions and said, my name and my image have been used to promote this board game that has some really inappropriate content. I was really upset at how gross these questions were. Now, Karma wasn't just a PR stunt to make JoJo more famous than ever. It was also a huge cover-up to get the internet talking so much about how cringy JoJo is that no one would hear about the terrible allegations being made against JoJo from members of the group XOMG Pop. JoJo's team found a way to suppress these stories by consistently spamming JoJo cringe and running with JoJo's bad girl narrative. Now, since everyone on the internet is constantly making JoJo cringe compilations, and because of this, the videos about allegations against JoJo are constantly being suppressed and forgotten, let's get into these allegations. In February 2024, JoJo and her mom were accused of overworking and mistreating dancers who were part of the group XOMG Pop. This group was formed on JoJo's reality TV show called Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution. Ex-members of the group accused JoJo of dangling the carrot of fame in front of their faces, exploiting them for TV ratings, and throwing them in the trash. The Siwas would allegedly berate the kids and encourage them to cry on camera while filming the show, just like what happened behind the scenes on Dance Moms. According to a source close to the production of Siwa's Dance Pop Revolution, the moms and kids would come home and have a candy basket and a Nintendo Switch in their hotel room after being messed with all day. JoJo and Jesseline were also accused of subjecting these dancers to grueling rehearsal schedules that left little time for school and promoting an unhealthy competitive work environment. Jesseline was even accused of making fun of the young girls for having a disability. Leah Sanderson and her mom, Angie Sanderson, were the first to speak out about this gruesome treatment from JoJo Siwa and Jesseline. They were subsequently fired from the show and dance group after putting an unsettling amount of time, money, and blood, sweat, and tears into the XOMG dance competition show. Angie had left her other 3 children behind in Texas to go with Leah to LA and shut down the daycare center she owned. Angie did all of this because JoJo allegedly promised them this was all going to be worth it and that they were about to become rich and famous beyond their wildest dreams. Leah and Angie thought this was an opportunity that they just couldn't pass up. Leah was born with spinal bifida, but was allegedly forced to work under intense physical duress. Jesseline allegedly encouraged Leah to attend a video shoot just a few weeks after she went through spinal cord surgery. Allegedly, days before the surgery, Leah started bleeding through her belly button during rehearsal for the performance at the Children's and Family Emmys, hosted by JoJo Siwa. Instead of letting Leah take a break, Jesseline told her to put a maxi pad on so it wouldn't leak onto her costume. Leah and Angie spoke out to Rolling Stone and alleged that JoJo could also be nasty and domineering, a sharp contrast from her upbeat on-screen persona. They alleged that JoJo screamed insults at the girls during a performance, played a huge role in building a cutthroat environment long after the cameras were gone, played favorites, and pitted members against each other. When Leia's mom, Angie, raised her concerns about XOMG Pop with the other moms and a dance teacher, the moms and dance teacher told Jesseline Siwa, and Leah was abruptly fired from the group soon after. Angie said to Rolling Stone, "Leah and I were in a dark place for months and months that I don't think we were healthy enough to speak out about. Now that we've had time to recover and heal from it, we're in a place where we are ready to share and tell people about everything." Rolling Stone sent the Siwas a list of detailed questions about the allegations, but the Siwas denied it all. The Siwas attorney, Brian Friedman, stated, "These allegations are 100% provably false. Voluminous and irrefutable evidence will tell you all you need to know. That a disgruntled momager's own abusive behavior caused for her daughter to be asked not to return to the group." But Leah wasn't the only member to leave the group. XOMG Pop constantly bleeds members, which raises a lot of concerns about the treatment they receive while they are in the group. The Siwas refused to respond to the allegations unrelated to Leah and Angie, and they refuse to talk about why so many former members have left the group. Leah and her mom took to Instagram Live to talk about their terrible experience in XOMG Pop. Leah talks about how her and other members were shaking, throwing up, and screaming and crying, while JoJo and Jesseline were screaming at them and insulting them. The Siwas forced them to practice their Mall of America performance over 20 times in a row into the late night. Leah says she couldn't even walk after the rehearsal. After the Mall of America performance, where Leah and the group performed 6 songs singing and dancing live, JoJo was angry at how they performed and called the performance sloppy. In another live, Leah talks about how JoJo and Jesseline are getting any traces of the original XOMG Pop wiped from the internet. She says she and her mom never received a dime for being in the group, and the Siwas continued to sell merch on Leah's face on it long after she was kicked out of the group. Clearly the cycle is continuing, and JoJo and her mom were subjecting these dancers to the exact conditions JoJo's mom raised her in when she was subjected to the abuse of Abby Lee Miller. Having already lived like this for over a decade, JoJo justified all of her actions and pretty much became the new Abby Lee Miller. Since JoJo seems to be turning into the next Abby Lee Miller, it's no surprise that she got in a huge amount of controversy for defending Abby and the Dance Moms reunion special. All of the Dance Moms cast members except JoJo have admitted to having severe childhood trauma from the show and Abby Lee's emotional and verbal abuse. For example, Abby would make fun of Chloe's eye, body shame them, pinch them, and scream at them while they cried. JoJo says she doesn't find a single thing wrong with Abby or anything she did in the past.
I always try to remember where I came from, and I always would tell myself, Abby's just doing her job too.
I mean, I guess everyone took it differently, you know what I mean? Because other people obviously don't like Abby now, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a thing. I
guess it's just different.
She speaks really highly of JoJo. I feel like I saw her saying later on, she's been so successful. I'm so proud of her.
That's the thing. I know that I would not be where I am today without Abby, without Dance Moms, without those producers. If I could go back in time, I would do it all over again. You know,
it's a flex.
There are I would say most people that have gone through the Dance Moms ring have come out and been like, "Fuck that." You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm a firm believer of remember where you came from, and that's not to say that they're wrong for how they're treating it.
They validate their feelings.
Yeah.
Some might say JoJo sees it this way because she is a victim and has Stockholm Syndrome. But now that JoJo is 21, people are starting to hold her accountable for her actions. Majority of the people aren't looking at JoJo's controversies like she's a victim anymore and feel like she's a villain. A lot of people see what JoJo does and says, and they think that she's a narcissist. They think she was talking over Brooke in the Dance Moms reunion due to narcissism, not due to childhood trauma, deflection, or immaturity. A lot of people also think JoJo is a narcissist because of when she posted with a box of Pampers on Snapchat and said she was pregnant, but was actually just bloated from eating.
JoJo Siwa just announced that she's pregnant in a recent Snapchat story. In the story, she's in Target where she's picking out several different outfits for a child, and also saying how excited she is for this new chapter in her life. I cannot wait to see what gender it is, and I'm so excited for her. Tell me what you guys think.
JoJo Siwa was also brutally clowned on in October of this year for submitting herself to the Grammys and trying to become the first influencer to ever win a Grammy. JoJo put herself up for the following Grammy Awards: Best New Artist, Karma, Record of the Year, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Music Video. Shocker! But the Grammys didn't accept her as a nominee for any of these categories. Today, JoJo seems to be absolutely addicted to controversy and creating drama online. On November 27th, 2024, a TikToker user named Anita uploaded this TikTok that said, "Bruh, imagine if we all just started ignoring celebrities. How hilarious would it be if they posted and got 13 likes?" This post went insanely viral and garnered over 53 million views and almost 11 million likes. The top comment on Anita's TikTok is, "OMG, yes, let's start with JoJo Siwa." This comment now has over 195,000 likes. JoJo Siwa quickly became the target for this new trend. Because of this, JoJo has been getting ratioed on all of her TikToks posted in the past 2 weeks. Even on JoJo's newest TikTok video, which talks about her getting into legal trouble for breaching an NDA, none of the comments are asking any questions about the NDA. Everyone is just telling each other to not like the video and stick to the plan. This video currently has almost 65 million views, but only 150,000 likes. The comments about ignoring JoJo under this TikTok have 3 times the likes than the actual video itself. Like I said before, nowadays it seems like JoJo can't exist unless she is being controversial. She recently went on the Talk Tua podcast hosted by Haley Welch, the Hawk Tua girl. By the way, the Hawk Tua girl apparently just scammed her fans out of $3 million with a scam meme coin rug pull. So comment down below if you want me to make a video about that situation. Well, like most of JoJo's interviews, this interview was extremely cringy, and JoJo just talked about weird TMI topics for 45 minutes. JoJo recently disappeared off of TikTok for a month, and then all of a sudden came back with her newest song called Iced Coffee. This song is extremely controversial because it's a clear ripoff of Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. This isn't the first time JoJo has been accused of ripping off other artists either. People are calling JoJo the queen of rage bait and think she released the ripoff of Espresso just to get people talking once again. JoJo claims Iced Coffee was written 3 years ago, but I'm pretty sure that's all cap.
And it really took you 3 years to write this song, and this is the best you could come up with? Like the way you are grinding my bean? This is the first verse. Wake up in the morning, let's go. You can flip me over like a fresh pillow. We'd be underneath the sheets, gutting sweet and low. What the f does that mean? Gutting sweet and low? What the... What? I'm scared. I be getting Lucky Charms when I taste your rainbow. Oh, you dirty, dirty dog. Are you serious? Fuck's sake, JoJo, we get it. You're not a child anymore. You're singing songs about sex now and tasting people's rainbows. We get it. You don't need to go any deeper. Take a sip, hello, make a drip. Oh, fucking hell.
JoJo has also been getting insanely drunk in public and at her concerts, and was filmed drinking out of a vodka bottle on stage and drinking alcohol out of her boob. JoJo just continues to get worse and worse by the day. The ignore JoJo trend on TikTok is still going strong because people are just tired of hearing about her. But what do you think about JoJo Siwa? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us get a bit closer to 200,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.